The world is mourning America's 39th president, Jimmy Carter, who died yesterday at age 100. He served just 4 years, one term in the White House, 1977 to 81. The Iran hostage crisis, inflation, and an energy crisis overshadowed the achievements in his presidency. But Mr. Carter gained international fame from his humanitarian work upon leaving office, even receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. Elex Michaelson has the very latest on a look back at his life and legacy.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
Jimmy Carter may have been a one-term president who struggled with major challenges at home and abroad, but he was also a pioneer who will always be remembered for the Camp David Peace Accords and for redefining the role of ex-U.S. president. James Earl Carter, Jr. was born in Plains, Georgia in 1924. He was the first U.S. president delivered in a hospital. Peanut farming and the Baptist faith were mainstays in the Carter home. In 1946, Jimmy graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy and married his sweetheart, Rosalind Smith. They had 4 children. Carter served in the Navy until his father's death. Then he returned to Georgia, took over the family farms, and threw his hat into local politics. In 1971, he was elected governor of Georgia on a pro-segregation platform. But a short time later, a stunning about-face. Carter denounced segregation, becoming the first statewide office holder in the Deep South to do so. Then he set his sights on the White House. In 1976, he challenged then-President Gerald Ford and won, becoming the 39th President of the United States. President Carter had many accomplishments. On the domestic side, the founding of the Departments of Education and Energy, deregulation of the airline industry, and the passage of major environmental protection laws. On the foreign policy front, the establishment of diplomatic relations with China, the Panama Canal Treaties, which negotiated the return of the passageway to Panama, and the signing of the Camp David Peace Accords between Egypt and Israel. But all that was overshadowed by some dramatic setbacks. In 1979, as Carter prepared for re-election, the energy crisis erupted. OPEC announced a series of price hikes, sending U.S. gas prices soaring and causing severe shortages.
This intolerable dependence on foreign oil threatens our economic independence and the very security of our nation.
Carter's approval rating plummeted to just 25%. Long lines formed at gas pumps around the nation. Inflation and interest rates skyrocketed. That same year, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. Making matters worse, the pro-U.S. Shah of Iran was overthrown. Islamic militants stormed the U.S. embassy, taking 52 Americans hostage. For 444 days, the crisis dominated the news and the presidential race. Carter lost to Ronald Reagan.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear.
On January 21st, 1981, as Reagan took office, the hostages were finally released. The Carters returned to private life, and in the decades that followed, Jimmy Carter gained new respect. He worked tirelessly to bring attention to Habitat for Humanity, an internationally known group that builds houses for the poor. Through his Carter Center in Atlanta, the former president helped champion human rights and brought attention to problems affecting the Third World. He also helped monitor elections in troubled nations, and he made history with this highly publicized trip to Cuba. Carter was the most prominent American to visit Cuba since Fidel Castro took power. During his trip, the former U.S. president urged Washington to lift its 40-year embargo. He called on Castro to improve human rights. Carter also made several trips to California. In 1991, he was reunited with the man who defeated him at the dedication of Ronald Reagan's presidential library in Simi Valley. The following year, Carter visited Los Angeles to help raise money for inner-city social programs. In 2002, Carter made history again when he received the Nobel Peace Prize.
For powerful countries to adopt a principle of preventive war may well set an example that can have catastrophic consequences.
In March of 2019, Carter became the longest living president ever at 94 years, 172 days. He's considered an elder statesman till the end. traveling the globe in his 90s, helping to improve the quality of life for people in more than 80 countries. Elex Michaelson, Fox 11 News.